You're listening to the R3 podcast.
We're good? Hell yeah, dude. Welcome to another episode of Radio Ridley Radio. It's your boy, Michael Ridley. I'm here today with my motherfucking homie, Ben Bankas.
What's up, bro?
All the way from Canada. Today's date. Shit, what's today's date? Well, I don't even know. It's motherfucking Friday, March 7th is 2:21 p.m.
It's Friday. You gonna get high today.
Bae, you gonna pull up to the studio and rip an hour with your Canadian N-word? Shit, it's fucking... What time is it? It's 2:21 p.m. Central
I think
Standard.
Canadians say the N-word more than Americans
I think they do.
because there's less blacks,
I think they do.
so it's safer.
They're like trying to fill that void. At least, hold on. Let me get situated. At least in Toronto. Those Toronto kids are fucking... I hate that Toronto accent, dude. That slang shit they do. What's up, Crody? Don't get gurked, fam. I'll gurk you. I'll gurk you from the back.
We were talking last night where you're like, when you get high, you don't get geeked, you get gooked. I don't know.
I don't be getting geeked. I be getting gooked.
I'm getting gurked. If you come to Toronto, you get gurk gooked.
God damn it. The hat headphone combo always gets me. I never know how to... 1 second, dude.
Yeah, the Canadian people, I don't know. I'm embarrassed.
You fled.
It's a bad time to be Canadian in America. I feel like I'm being discriminated from all angles. Canadian, I'm half Jewish.
Hey, yo.
Everybody's just like, yo, you caused the Holocaust and the tariff war.
Yeah. Tariffs.
Well, that's the thing, because now they're like, the Jews, yeah, the Holocaust, that was your fault. that's the new thing.
Yeah, convincing Jews that it's actually their fault the Holocaust
Yeah,
happened.
and
That's
if you
crazy.
talk about it, like I made a joke on my podcast about Candace Owens, and I was saying like how she disappointed so many Jewish fathers at once.
How?
Well, just because like Jewish fathers loved Candace Owens when she was on Ben Shapiro's show. Like they were just like, Candace, she's she's a smart black woman. She's she's well spoken, and then she comes out against Israel, and they're like, oh, I just don't know what to say about Candace. What happened? I don't know what happened. She's lost her mind.
She gives me such a strange anti-Semitic erection. My mangled circumcised penis flickers with excitement, but then she starts speaking out against Israel and.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. People are just like, fun. Some people are like, oh, you're Jewish? It's like, some guy was like, I used to like you before you. So, and it's like, bro, like, what are we doing here? Like, I was just making a joke. I wasn't saying like, she is wrong. She's in the wrong. I was just saying like, she broke people's hearts. She did.
Well, I've noticed that like, well, they
and
say
it's funny. And I even said like, I kind of get it because she worked for Ben Shapiro and he's like so Jewy that would make you anti-Semitic.
Mm-hmm. Well, they say it's like a circle. And I guess like hating Jews is like the new leftist ideology.
It's a circle. Yeah. It's a circle that a certain symbol fits perfectly in the middle of. It's actually the Porsche symbol. When it spins, it turns into that. Did you see that?
The BMW.
The Porsche symbol, when it spins, it just looks like the.
It's VW.
No, it's. I don't know if
the
you
Porsche
can pull
is
it up,
the Porsche is a. Yeah,
Porsche spinning like on the rim, the Porsche logo.
Yeah,
when it spins, it's literally becomes
Porsche
a swastika.
Porsche swastika.
Yeah, spinning. Yeah, it's a thing. I don't know.
It spins. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that with the VW logo. That's like a meme. I've seen that with the BMW logo. Yeah. It's a VW logo.
They all do. Every fucking BMW, Porsche. And this is the Jews still buy it. They don't give a fuck.
It's German, but it's a good vehicle.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I think that the whole thing will get blown over. But I mean, the solution to it. I mean, the final solution is what obviously people want. Like, that's what people want. Like, at the end of the day, they want to be like, look, it's not Jews that we hate. We're just against Israel and all successful Jews in positions of power and any Jew that's, if you're white, which meaning non-Jew, because I guess Jews are technically can be white sometimes. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they look fucking Arab. But if you're a non-Jewish person that's like doing comedy, it's like this guy's, he's going after it. He's really. But if you're Jewish and you do it, they're like, he's manipulating my mind. He made me laugh because it's a manipulation. Somebody posted that today. They're like, all comedy is just manipulation. I'm like, bro. People call me a Mossad agent. I'm like, bro, if I fucking like had that money, like, you know what I mean? I don't know what their salary is. 80,000 shekels a year. I don't know what that is.
I'm clearing 80,000 shekels a year. Just a stork brings a bag of gold to your
But
front
like,
step.
I do get it. Like, I get it because, like, you know, I've been around Jews. Like, one Jew can make you anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
One of any race really can make you hate that race.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I'm definitely I feel like I'm the predecessor of a lot of people's Asian hate. I mean, other Asian people hate me.
Asians might, but like white people are like, oh, I like Asians now. And then you're like, I'm not fully Asian. They're like, that's it. There it is.
Half Jew, half Asian.
I did a joke where I'm like, you know, there'll be like a half Asian in the crowd. And I'm like, are you Chinese or something? They'll be like, I'm half. I'm like, and then half white. And then I'm like, beautiful, beautiful. Because you know how whenever there's like a half Asian, half white baby, like people will be like, just, oh my God, the mix. It's just so incredible. And I'm like, yeah, which half you think's helping? There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Which half you think's helping there? It's I don't know. Because if they're fully Asian, they just go, ew. And then if they're white, they go, thank God. And if they're half, they go, beautiful, beautiful. Looks like it was made in a Jewish laboratory in the Epstein Island.
Just vials.
Dude, Epstein fucked us so hard. Like, this is what people don't realize, that Jews, like, I'm not like religiously Jewish, and my dad's culturally Jewish. My mom's not. She tried converting for a previous husband marriage that didn't work out and couldn't do it because she just couldn't do the she just couldn't get it.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like, I don't know. Most Jews are pissed off at Epstein. I'd say like good 99% are like, bro, why the fuck would you do this?
You're blowing
to
up
us?
the spot, dude. You're blowing up the spot. All the powerful Jews are like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Meanwhile, Harvey Weinstein's rotting in a cell because, you know, fucking bunch of whores wanted some spots on fucking Kill Tony. Fucking, or whatever the equivalent was then.
Yeah.
Right? But that's the thing. Like, okay, he did rape, but it was also like, he raped, but he was like, come to my room, and then they showed up. You know? I'm just like, at that point, like, a fat Jew tells you to come to the room, like, what do you think's gonna happen? Not rape?
Do you remember the South Park?
But does that mean all Jewish people are bad? Yes. Yes, it does. But can you just like, can you give us like 5 more years before you start the train cars going?
Do you remember the South Park episode where
Some time to plan?
where Earth
We're
was
going back to Poland. We got to leave America. They're sending us back to Europe. I like that. In Canada, there's lots of Muslims protesting Israel thing, and they go back to Europe, and it's like, it's all Muslims there. What are we going back to?
It's gonna be like Jewish doomsday preppers, like like a Jewish like Alex Jones on Infowars selling like to-go bags, like go bags and go buckets for the apocalypse.
This is my emergency Latka kit. You can make potatoes stay warm and fresh for 600 days. That's how many days they had to stay with the menorah. 800. I don't know.
Hey guys, this podcast is brought to you by CourseMotorsports.com. If you need a MagSafe charging wireless phone mount, head on over to CourseMotorsports.com. These guys have incredible hands-free technology for any make and model car. Multiple makes and models, and if they don't have it, they'll make you a custom set. You just shoot them an email, they'll make you a kit for your car. Do not text and drive. We live in the future. Everyone's car can link to their phone, but not everyone's car has a proper place for you to put it. So you head over to Course Motorsports and get you one of these excellent phone mounts that they offer for pretty much any car under the sun. If you guys want to support us over here at the podcast, be sure to use Frogman15 at checkout for 15% off.
Or click the link in the description.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Back to the show.
You're listening to the R3 Podcast.
Yeah,
There's going to be a new Jewish holiday that's going to start like soon. It's going to be like, that was that was the holiday we celebrate when Kanye West and Candace Owens, they came after us. And Ian Carroll, he went on Joe Rogan. So now we celebrate every March 15th, we celebrate the Chechech, which is the remembrance that we beat Candace Owens and Kanye West.
Oh my God.
Jews helped blacks so much too, which is like so like they did no. Well, I mean, first of all, they helped them get here, because they own the slave ships. But so you're welcome for and then. Well, that's one of the things that people say. I don't know if that's true. Can we look up how true that is? But apparently all slavery was Jews.
I used to hear it on 6th Street with the black Israelites. Yes, I
but
used
it's
to hear
like,
them
yeah,
say that.
Jews invent cool stuff. They invented slavery, then, Facebook.
Well, they learned slavery from Egyptians.
Yeah, they were like, they had us working harder than we ever really wanted to work.
We built the pyramids.
Transatlantic slave trade, a massive complex system that involved many different European nations. Majority of the ships used in the trade were owned and operated by European powers, okay? While some Jewish individuals were involved in various aspects of commerce during this time, just as Christians and others were, the claim that Jews owned the ships and brought the slaves is misleading and not supported by historical evidence. The vast majority of slave trading ships were financed, built, and operated by non-Jewish European merchants. Some Jewish merchants participated. Well, that's some of them. They were there. There you have it. There was a couple. There was an Igor Strakowski on the coast pulling in the ships, and he was. There was a buoy boy.
No. Well, you're gonna just have to make it work. Lay down on each other. Get down. We're gonna fit as many people as we can on this boat.
The Jewish slave ships were actually much more comfortable. They were treated much better than the white slave ships. So I didn't know if you know that part of the Jewish history.
And the Chinese slave ships, they weren't. They were building them faster, but they weren't as of good quality.
It's crazy that people will be like, "Yeah, Jews did the slave trade," and then it's like there's actual slavery happening right now. And it's
China.
mostly, China, India, Africa, just all the non-white places.
Yeah,
are pretty much
and we have
like,
to compete with that.
Yeah,
they're trying to make us compete with that, and they think AI is what's going to get us through that. Is that we're
What
going
do
to
you mean compete with the?
slavery. We got to make robots because we can't ethically enslave Americans. We have to make robots do the.
It is crazy
stuff.
that people are dying to get to America, and then they get here and work at a Whataburger. It's just like.
Fighting tooth and nail to be like, all right, would you like spicy ketchup? Would you like spice? And they still fuck it up. Just Indian dudes in the back of a Whataburger assembling with their feet.
And then there's like
putting burgers together.
Like if there was no slave trade, we'd have no, I mean, look, I love black people. I'm happy they're here. Sorry that we brought you here. It was a little turbulent.
Yeah, it was.
As a Jew, I personally am responsible.
Yeah, for a few of those
The
ships.
Jews brought the blacks here not for slavery. They had an idea. Even in the 1500s, they were thinking about creating the NBA. And
yeah, put this ball in the basket.
The general manager of the NBA, what's his name? Silver something. Oh, they're all Jews.
Silver Goldsmithstein.
But yeah,
Silverman Steinberg.
Yeah, who's the like owner of the
CEO
NBA?
of NBA?
Yeah, he's a big Jew, but
super Jew.
No, China and India and like Middle East and Africa.
Adam Silver. Johnny Gold.
David Stern, also Jew. Okay, ask it. Why is this Grok?
Chat
Gibbet.
Why are so many of why are all the owners of the NBA Jewish?
Why are all of you? ChatGPT is like media.
They're going to be
trained.
like, so the slave trade.
Yeah, see, look, it's media trained. Not all NBA owners are Jewish. The ownership of the NBA teams is diverse.
Wait, can you ask Grok the same question in the next tab? I don't know if you have Twitter or X, but
see what Elon's AI says about this.
It's just like, yes.
Duh.
Oh, no, it wasn't a yes, no question. Yes, they're all Jewish.
Owners of the NBA Jewish.
Elon's answer is going to be so significant proportion of them are, which has led to discussions and questions like yours. Roughly half.
Jewish heritage.
The reasons for what's the reason for the overrepresentation tied to historical, cultural, economic factors rather than coordinated effort? Popular sport in urban areas in the 20th century, and Jews brought blacks to those areas via ship. No, I'm just kidding. Listen, the slave trade was for the. We were thinking about sports.
Yeah, you guys are playing. You guys are playing checkers. We're thinking chess here.
Yeah, but this is the thing where it's like the whole woke movement is about helping minorities become things, right? Like, you know, we want more minority CEOs and more female CEOs, but now it's like, but less Jews because there's too many Jews. But it's like, but they were, if anything, every minority should be looking at them and going, how did they do that? We should do that. But nobody wants to do that. Like, Mexicans aren't coming here and be like, I came from Mexico. I make my son study math 12 hours a day in the basement. He play violin. He's you know, he's learning 6 languages. Jews did that, and then their kids were successful. But the original people who showed up with nothing. They showed up with like less than probably $5.
Well, it's the story of all migrants, really. It's just
the story of all migrants, but they're a successful one.
Yeah.
But also, so are Asians.
Yeah, nobody talks about that.
They're just like, I don't like a basketball. I don't need to own a basketball team.
We moving sirens like ninja. Sirenry succeeding.
They're not as obsessed with being part of the culture.
No.
They're okay with, like, Jews wanted that. They were like, we want to come here, not only make money, because a lot of them at first came and made money doing shit like selling scrap metal and, like, you know, and then they did make money from that, but they were like, this isn't enough. I want to be David Stern of the NBA or like what they wanted to, like, have some influence on the culture. And I think that that's a good thing, that everybody should want to do that. And black people do that. I mean, look at Candace. No, but I mean, look at America. It's, you know, black, like if you're a black person and you go abroad, the people just assume you're American. If you just, you know, like if you just have it, you know, hi. And
they also really want to touch your hair. Have you seen those videos of like kids in China like petting black people?
But that's like kids. That's all kids. I don't know. I don't even understand the black, like, why you won't touch my hair? That's racist. It's like, I don't know. It's different.
Yeah, I've never seen somebody like you before, so I'm interested in talking to you.
I've never thought about running my fingers through Chinese people's hair. I've never been like, I want to get a bunch of gel on my hand. Spiky. It's like, oh shit, ow. Spike went through my hand. It's fucking Goku's head.
I have a couple neater hidden in my head.
Oh, Goku head very hot. Would you think if Goku Super Saiyan, you touch his hair, hand burns off?
Yeah. Do you think his pubes turn gold too?
Dude, I loved. Like, I think it's weird when like adults are like too into like Dragon Ball Z or whatever. Like, they're still like, bro, like. But when I was a kid, I loved it.
I loved it too, and I still, you know, I tried.
But I never even thought of it as Asian.
Yeah, nah. I tried to watch it again, and I was like, man, I cannot sit down and watch this shit, dude. No. I tried. I like it.
The video games are fun.
The video games seem fun. Yeah, like I like the fighting games and stuff like that. You just pull up a picture of Rufio.
Yeah, you're just talking about running your hair through an Asian dude. This is what I thought of.
Yeah, my wife loves that movie.
Wait, can we just go back? What's the difference between the grok and the other one for the first line?
I think it's the same word for word, dude. I think they're all media trained.
Significant proportion, and then chat says,
the ownership at the NBA teams are diverse.
Yeah. Transatlantic slave trade. No, I feel bad. I don't know what I'm supposed to feel bad about as a Jew that's not yet as successful as I want to be. But once I do get successful, then people like that level of success, people will be like, it's because he's a Jew. But very few, you know, I think
forget you're Jewish, man.
I mean, I'm not. I mean, my dad is.
Right.
But like, yeah, I guess people are like, you are Jewish because I don't look super Jewish or whatever, or maybe I don't act Jewish. You know, I've been training. And no, but I think that, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen because the way my cousin, who's much more Jew, he's like on that, like he's full Jew.
Does he
like
have the
from
curls?
Israel and
Does
shit?
he have the curls and stuff? Or I don't understand that.
He doesn't like. He just looks like a normal person.
Okay.
But he's not like super. He's not Orthodox or anything. But,
okay.
His point was, this isn't that bad. Wait 10 years or 15 years and where we're at. If this is where we're at now and it just keeps going, there'll be a point where they're going, okay, NBA teams aren't allowed to have Jewish owner, or it could get to that. It could, and people want that. People want it, and they hate me. Some people who are my fans, but on this issue, they're like, that's what I want. And it's like, don't you see why that's maybe gonna cause bad things to? I don't know.
I don't know shit about Jews.
Yeah.
I just know that I know there's a lot of y'all.
There's not.
It feels like it.
There's only
how many
15 million.
But there's so many people. It just seems like with all the, anti-Semitic outrage, anytime you kind of I just remember comedically, if you make a joke at the expense of Jews, it seems like there's a big uproar about it all the time. And it seems like there's more. It seems like there's a shit ton of Jewish people, if that's an issue, or maybe you guys just speak up a lot when it comes to that kind of shit. But
America has America, and people are like, why is America and Israel? Because America has 7 million Jews and Israel has 7 million Jews, and that's it. Everywhere else has like Canada has a significant amount, which is 300K, and then most European countries are under 100K.
Damn, there's a lot of Asian people then. I'm just thinking, I'm like, I know Asians are smoking those numbers.
But Asians aren't being, they're not trying to be these cultural icons as much. There's no Asian Ben Shapiro. You know what I mean? No, but no, there's room. I'm not saying there's not room for it.
Why are Asian men considered less desirable?
Right.
Why is it the common idea that we have small penises? My wife, for example, says my penis is more of adequate size, and it pleases her quite frequently. Why in America are we constantly being convinced that the Asian man is less desirable as far as mating terms, as far as creating families? I don't know. That's just something I've always dealt with, was getting ripped on for being Asian. So whenever I make fun of another race or whatever, I'm like, dude, my whole life I've been an Asian guy. I'm an Asian guy who grew up in the South. I don't want to fucking hear it. You know what I mean? I actually used to get physically assaulted for being Asian. Yeah. And this is 99, early 2000s. I don't know. That all that talk.
But what were you wearing? Big, wearing the full
double XL Dragon Ball Z
You're
t-shirt.
wearing a karate gi.
Yeah. I was fight that guy.
Just
my white belt with
this.
I had a white belt with one piece of black tape on it.
But my only point is that okay, but if you're Asian, people know that.
Yeah, it's very obvious.
So they'll they'll treat you like shit right away.
Mm-hmm. You guys,
whereas Jews, they'll be like, I like this guy, and then they'll be like, you're Jewish? Oh yeah.
Yeah. I like this guy. He turns around, and you see the little hat.
Yeah.
I can't take my eyes off. I can't be like, Michael, why are your eyes taped open like that? Trying to hide
But it's
it.
they're an ancient people that all they really wanted from the beginning. I think they got fucked over so many times, and they lived in such poverty.
Jews?
Yeah.
Where's all this coming from, Ben? Were you getting some shit online?
What?
What's all this rah Jew stuff? Where's this come from?
I don't know. I was just bored. I thought we were talking about it. No, it's not raw. It's just relevant because of what's happening with Candace Owens and
what is happening. I don't watch the news. What happened?
Well, so Candace Owens went on Theo.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
And then this Ian Carroll guy went on Rogan.
Yeah.
And so a lot of those clips are going viral, and now people who are already anti-Semitic.
Okay.
And look, people will be like, it's not anti-Semitism. We're mad at Israel. We're mad at Epstein. Okay, yeah, I get there is that, but then there's the majority of people online. And you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, it's to an extent, yeah.
Yeah, the majority of people online are just ready to put people in camps. But maybe they're joking. So it's
maybe
it's funny. It is part of it's funny, and that's the other reason. That's the other reason I talk about it, and it's triggering for different. It's an interesting. The other thing. So I just posted 2 clips on my page about it. The first one I talked about on Off the Hop, the Candace thing. And it creates such a crazy dynamic of triggered, where some people are just that is hilarious, and then other people are like, no, you Candace, I like her and I like you, but I like Jews too, and it's just what I don't know, what do we? Because America is Jewy, it is Jewy, And that's why people are like, why are there so many Jews in America? It's like, well, because they got here like 200 years ago and they just fucking tried really hard.
Yeah, we fix shoes.
Yeah.
We were cobblers.
They were cobblers, and now they're pushing the trans agenda, I guess. I wish they weren't.
Yeah.
Or I wish there weren't
Well,
some.
all the doctors are Steens and Bergs. And
Can we
they're like,
Google that?
How many
Or can we grok that?
grok that?
What?
Are Jews behind the trans agenda?
Well, I can support that by saying maybe they're like, man, we got to find a new way. People aren't going to the doctor. Well, then
There's
why don't
no
we?
evidence.
The trans agenda isn't a
They're
formal thing.
aren't a monolith. What the fuck is even a monolith, bro? I thought that was is that like a statue? Claims to point prominent Jewish figures fund.
George Soros, who funds progressive causes.
Whatever. I just want to make the statement that, yeah, there's tons of fucking evil fucking people of all, you know what I mean? And it is when it's funny. And I think, like, I honestly don't think that people say that I'm doing like anti-Asian hate by doing a Chinese accent, whereas I really don't think so. I don't think it's hateful to do a Jewish accent. But if I was like being like, but seriously, look at the statistics of how many Chinese people are then it becomes like, whoa, Ben actually doesn't, you know. And I'm not racist. I said that I've been saying this recently. I'm culturist.
Yeah, I can get annoyed.
So it's
with
like
culture.
I don't care what race you are, but like if you got a fucking weird outfit on,
I'm roasting you, dude.
right? Even if Jew, like you see, but the Jewish outfits are kind of just cute and funny. They are. They're like, I mean,
Just
I
long
don't.
jackets and
But when I see like a Muslim guy he's dressed like me, he doesn't give a fuck. He's got a Nike T-shirt on,
yeah,
and then his wife just has eyeballs,
it's really funny.
and I'm like, it's also
super funny.
It's
That's
funny.
actually really funny.
It's funny, but there is part of me that feels like that's less of a choice than like the Jewish outfit,
Right.
in the sense that, I mean, that the Jewish outfit's a full choice, but they kind of, you don't see them outside of their area. Like
What's
they don't
their
go
area?
they don't go to the mall like that. Like you don't go to the mall and see Jews with curls coming down.
No, they're not at the mall. They're in the diamond district.
Yeah. But you do see like a lot of Indians with like those weird outfits. Like the whole family comes to the mall and it's like,
Ankles are out.
guys, this is a mall.
Ankles and feet are out.
And I mean, I don't know. Maybe I am.
Sideways button clasps like this.
Yeah. So I guess I get it. Some people see that and don't like it. Some people see Jews, they don't like it. People just, you know, some people see trans, they're like, they get a reaction. Right? And that's just people, I guess. But I think things are going to be okay in America. I think there's a lot of hubbub, but I think America's okay because the countries that America's competing against, there's not as much raw brain power. Like I guess China, they're smart, they're working hard, but there's nobody.
They're also jumping off of buildings. They're not having fun.
Well,
they're
not having any fun. That's
they're
my
not having
point.
any fun. We have so much fun.
They're
over
having fun and they can drink
Right.
and have fun, but there's not as much like, dude, I did acid in the desert.
Yeah,
and like, I fucking
here. Chinese people on acid. Oh, rot their hair.
holy shit.
Oh, look at the stars, the sky. I feel Jesus. I feel Jesus
How
flowing.
does the rice grow in the water?
I stand on the waterfall for hours. Find my soul. Soul searching.
Oh, I'm way too high. Gonna get arrested by a CCP.
That is crazy to be on acid in China. That would freak me out. I don't want to go to
Right.
China. I'm definitely scared of like being in China. I hear of comics like doing comedy in China. I'm like, how did they not arrest you?
I would do Hong Kong. I know it's like still China, but it's like less. a little bit.
Okay, so it's like more of like a Western.
Singapore's not China, but Asia. Singapore's really cool. You can do comedy there, but they also have super strict rules. Like
Yeah, no
you
spitting.
If you flick a cigarette on the
You're
ground,
fucked.
you get like either
Gum.
$1,000 fine or like arrested or something.
Jail, gum under the bench, you're fucked.
So
Spit
my
on the
point is
floor.
that how can countries that have these weird, stupid laws ever defeat a country like America, where it's like the laws are ever shifting and changing and opening up and like closing down, and then it's this state it's legal that
and another thing is most of us are on drugs and own firearms, so it's like there's probably a reason why we haven't been invaded for so long. It's like a lot of people see Americans as like fearful, or worried, but a lot of the world sees Americans as a bunch of fucking mentally ill fucks with guns. So it's like it's give or take. But I don't think anybody would come over here because when we have a super beefed up military, we have like literal laser guided rockets that they catch rockets coming towards us and they blow up that rocket, and that literally keeps us safe while we sleep. And that's just a moving thing. And then let's say you get into the country, then you have to deal with like fucking, you try to come in through the southeast and you got motherfuckers from Florida with side-by-sides. They have literal off-roading vehicles and guns, and fucking we have access to the flashing strobe light that goes on the AR and then the fucking laser and all this shit. We have so much shit that most people don't have, and a lot of those guys are trained, and there's a shit ton of militias in this country. So I don't know.
How many Chinese people in America?
I don't know.
We know it's got to be more than Jews, right?
Yeah, how many Chinese people in America?
Chinese.
How many Chinese?
How many Chinese?
How many Chinese people in America? It just says Arat, A-R-O-T. Arata Chinese people.
Oh, there's less Chinese. There's more Jews than Chinese in America. That's
okay.
That's mind blowing.
Change it to Asians. How many Asians? 12 million Asian. 25 million.
Okay.
Woo.
All right. So those are all Chinese people.
Yeah. If you meant something
I
different.
wonder what the biggest one is.
The biggest.
Chinese is the biggest. Oh, they're counting Indian as Asian, though.
Filipino, roughly 4.6. Nice.
Damn.
Filipinos.
Okay, but this is interesting because in Canada, it's the opposite.
There's a lot of Filipinos.
There's way more Asians in Canada than Jews.
There's a lot of Filipinos.
So I'm not used to being in a country where Jews are
a minority.
Supreme.
Oh, okay. You were a minority.
That's what everybody says. But I'm surprised that there's only that many Chinese people in this country. But that's a good thing because it's good for the war.
How so?
That there aren't like a ton here that would like turn on.
Yeah, how many sleeper cell Chinese? How many people where they play a song on the radio and there's just like Chinese people in America in bed? They're just like, it's time to
Are there
fight.
more Russians? I wonder
they just get activated in their sleep.
I wonder if there's more Russians. There's probably more Russians than fucking Chinese here.
That's scary too. The idea of Russians. How many sleeper cells do we have in Russia? I feel like Russians over here are like, no, this is cool. I like this. No, there's a reason why we leave Russia. It's kind of ass, man. You go to a grocery store, just ketchup.
Okay, no.
400K?
Interesting.
No, 2.9, 3.1.
Huh.
Okay. Well, I feel like any Russians that are here are kind of like already admit that. Like,
this podcast is super informative, by the way. If anybody watched this, they'd be like, oh, I know where I stand now.
Yeah.
I hate Jews, Russians, Chinese people, whites.
Yeah, this is
just humans. Why can't we agree that like humans in general are obviously just doing bad stuff and good stuff all the time? Like there's the yin and yang of humanity.
Yeah. Well, this is probably the most informative the podcast has ever been. It's usually just like, hey, what if well, what does a gay Indian guy sound like? That's usually what this podcast is.
Hey, 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah. Or yeah. What does a Russian with Down syndrome sound like? That's usually what this podcast is. It's like
Zelensky.
Dude, that
Can
video.
I have more money? I need money.
You don't have the cards. We're playing Pokemon. You don't have the cards.
That's a tough issue because
you need a lot of energy cards. You need oil cards. You need electricity cards, bullet cards. You don't have them right now.
Doesn't help that Zelensky's also a Jew.
Oof.
That's not helping anything.
I seen pictures of like people in his like it was like before the money and then after the money, and one of the ladies had like fake tits now. Like I was like, ooh, I don't know. I can't speak. I don't speak on stuff like that because I'm like literally retarded and I don't care. All I do
That's almost better.
Yeah, it's almost better.
For clips.
Yeah, just to be retarded and don't care and just like have a good time and like.
I was brought up in a household where we just constantly talked about these things, and they always like at dinner. It was like it was like Russia, what they're doing.
Yeah, and I would just lay in the back of a car while Rush Limbaugh would play. My dad would just listen to a bunch of Rush Limbaugh, basically old school Alex Jones.
Yeah, no, I know Rush. Yeah,
Rush Limbaugh.
but I think that the war in Ukraine is bad, obviously, but Europe, the issue is that, and a lot of people are like, no, what Trump did, he embarrassed Zelensky, and it was very offensive. And
No. I think he was just auditing him in real time in front of the whole world.
But and then Europe's like, well, we're gonna have to step up, and it's like Trump asked you to step up. Like now, it's like what 8 years ago, basically, like in 2016, he was like, hey, you guys need to step up, and they didn't. And then Ukraine got invaded, and then it's like, America, please help. It's like, why can't you guys have human beings there? You have money, God knows you want to talk about USAID, how much money they were giving away. Look at how much money Europe gives away to fuck knows how many different causes, same type of causes.
Well, what I pulled from the video is when I was watching that, like them arguing, it kind of seemed like Trump was like, dude, come on, man. We've given you so much. What are you doing?
Yeah,
because it's kind of running. It's kind of looking like you've lost. It kind of seems like they've lost. And how much more money are you going to take, or how much more aid do you need? I mean, I don't know, dude.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's also like, Trump's looking at it as people need to stop dying, because that's not, and people will be like, well, yeah, because dying's bad for business, right? Because the business got, well, yeah, why any cause where it should stop war should be good. You know what I mean? If both sides are like, yo, I'll chill, then like that's good. And yeah, okay, Russia's going to take some land. Ukraine's going to get what land. They still have the majority of their land. So just be like, yo, and the argument for that is, because I'm playing both sides trying to, but the argument for that is, well, if you do that, then Russia's going to do it again, and then they're going to build up again, and they're going to keep pushing. And it's like, okay, so then there has to be a thing where it's like, yo, if you guys do that, then we just like literally level your entire like line of soldiers.
So what, do they just
with
want
US
more?
jets.
They just want more land? Why?
But that's what Trump doesn't want to do.
Why are they at war? I don't even know why they're at war this whole time.
They're at war because NATO has expanded. Like originally, NATO didn't include countries like Poland or the Baltic states, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia. It didn't include, like Turkey and all these countries. So, and all those countries border Russia, right? So, or not all of them, but some of them do. And
so
they're closer to Russia than France and Germany and England.
Right. So NATO's including them, and now Russia's hey, 1 second.
There are processes for countries who want to join NATO. Or the EU. They can join the EU, and then I think once they join the EU, that becomes like NATO, I think. Or maybe we can ask Rock in the background how do countries become NATO, and do you have to be EU first or whatever? But they basically first they want to become EU so that their currency is the same as the rest of the thing, and then you don't need a passport to travel from like Lithuania to fucking Germany, and it's all like one country, right? The EU. But they've expanded it, and Ukraine wants to become a member of NATO, and Russia really doesn't want that to happen. And there was previously, like in the 90s, America said that, hey, we're never going to make Ukraine NATO. Okay, we don't want to freak you out, because once they make them NATO, then they can put NATO troops and military bases and weapons at the border.
Yeah.
And the argument is that's why Russia had to come in to feel safe. And then the other argument is, but NATO never attacked. They were just arming the border, trying to like be like, hey, don't fuck with us.
So it's fortified. It's fortified, and that makes Russia nervous.
Right. But so it's a complicated issue. Both sides have points, but I think the main thing is, guys, we just got to stop like blowing people up, like period. And as far as like the Israel thing, but what about Israel? Well, they need to stop getting attacked. And if that happened, none of this would happen. If the Palestinians were just like, you know what? We like Gaza, and we're going to make it fucking sick, and we're going to trade with you guys, and we're going to tell all our citizens to be nice to you guys, then none of this would have happened. But it's just this like these ancient. The Russia-Ukraine thing is ancient.
It's old world shit.
It's ancient. Like
it's old world shit that just needs to go away. Because I mean, shit's awesome. Shit's awesome, and I don't want the party to
ancient
end.
battles that have
Yeah.
the amount of battles that have happened on these exact places that
world.
battles are happening.
Yeah. You can't dude, you can't have like a beef from thousands of years ago and VR porn in the same timeline. Brother, this is, dude, you could join the rest of the world and have food delivered to your doorstep and watch VR porn and some of the best alcohol. There's so much. It's a party. It's a feast. We're having a feast. And it just seems like if World War III starts, then my chances of becoming a working famous comedian, my dreams, my life, everything, my freedom is at risk because now people are blowing up, and now if America becomes like a target for attack, now everyone's gonna be all anxious and we're not having fun anymore. And it's like, dude, I don't want to worry about that shit. I don't want to worry about that shit, and I don't think it should exist in the sense of just join the rest of the world. We're doing fine. Everything's good. Let go of all this old shit. Like you're saying, peace.
I think it's
okay.
less. I think it's less that World War III is going to happen, and more that our societies are going to tear themselves apart from the inside out because people are just so triggered by things. Like even this conversation. If you're smart enough to listen to this whole conversation, you'll be like, okay, he knows or me or you or for me, the people who want to find something wrong. They'll be like, he knows what both arguments are for things. It's not like I'm just blindly they've never done anything wrong. I get it. There's issues, but this idea that we have to just go, I liked you until you said that, or that type of, because it's not just with comics, it's with fucking families. You know what I mean? It's at the point where your dad said something and now I never talk to him because he voted for this guy or that guy, and that shit's way worse than fucking World War III.
Because it's deconstructing.
I mean,
culture.
World War III would be pretty bad.
World War
shit,
III
but it
would
would just be
bad,
it would be over in a second, everybody would be dead, so it wouldn't be that bad. Versus the slow degradation of the family. Now all these we did this. So we did a comedy show last night. Which was
that was funny.
Not very full, but there was about 12 girls there on a bachelorette, and
So bad.
For some reason, the girl who organized it brought them to this comedy club. The great comedy club, but it was just a slow night, and honestly, but not a great. No offense to that comedy club, not really a bachelorette vibe.
No,
That's maybe Mothership. You know, because that's oh my God, Shangela, oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And also it's packed. But they're just a random, it was a bingo night comedy show.
Yeah.
So it was we had to do comedy, and then after you bombed.
Did you do bingo balls first, or did you?
No,
do
I did it after. After
I did it first.
So what happened was I walked all 12 of these girls, and not they were just bored and left. I was aggressively because they were interrupting the show. The whole time.
They were the whole time,
and I don't like that.
I went before you, and
Addy doesn't like that.
I went before you, and I did the bingo numbers first, and I was like, 25, and then I got N, and I went N. Word. And I got a pop, dude.
Yeah, that was good.
These people right here were awesome.
There was 4 people
in the front
that
row
enjoyed me roasting the shit out of this bachelorette.
Yeah, they were not
but
good
there was
people.
a couple. No, they were 2 girls being fuck you, and it was really wild, but it was fun. And then after when I walked to my car, the girls were still out there on the other side of the fence of the parking lot, through the fence, were yelling at me, piece of fucking shit,
Yeah, I
fuck
saw
you.
that part.
And I was like, shut up. And then I just got in my Mustang and
That was probably the funniest thing I saw in a long time. Was just a dude being like, "Shut up, bitch!" Gets in a Mustang. Fucking the rumble of a V8 following. "Shut up, bitch! Fuck you, asshole! Fuck you!" Because I was telling him
I didn't
to
call
shut
her a
the fuck-
bitch for the record. I didn't say shut up, bitch.
Oh well, you said shut up.
I just
something.
said shut up.
Oh, okay, but when I went up, I was
afraid to say anything like that because they seemed like my first thought was, oh no, I'm gonna have to like call the police or something. Like they're like gonna. But
Yeah,
I
good
think
luck.
it was only
Good
like
luck in
it was
Austin,
like
dude.
2 of them were freaking out, and then the rest of them were just like, we like they felt bad for the bride because she was hyperventilating. Like after I did my set, she was
yeah, they were closing out their tab, freaking the fuck out.
You made her rethink the marriage.
Yeah, well, I was like, so
what did you say exactly?
I was like, who's getting married? And it was the girl who'd been interrupting everybody all night. And I was like, oh yeah, well, he's gonna kill himself in 2 years. And then she just like kind of was like this. She went from like being the most confident girl ever to just being like, and she just kind of sunk a little lower. And then her friends the one girl was like, did you just say their fucking fiance is gonna fucking kill himself? And I was like, yeah. Because I just saw how she acted. And if I was with her, I'd kill myself.
I've deduced what kind of person you are in the last 10 minutes.
And I was like, what does he do? And I asked her what she did. They were just so like not into it. And then they were just mad. And I was like, what does he do? And then the one girl at the back's like, he's a doctor and it's my brother. Like, because like, and then I was like, oh, your brother's a fucking, what does he do? Cut kids' dicks off? I just like
do trans operations.
Yeah, I was like trans operations. See, it's funny shit. And they were just so mad. And yeah, and if you want, I'll send you the audio from it and you can put it at the end of the podcast.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do that.
Or on your Patreon or whatever.
Yeah.
But
put it on the Patreon.
yeah, probably. Yeah, but I forget my point in that. There was a point in I was trying to make from that.
You were
Jews. I don't know.
Yeah, it's Jews.
No, you were just trying to. You brought up the show because, like, we had good intentions and we had good vibes, but literally during my whole set, they were talking, and I just every time I pulled a number, every time I pulled a bingo ball, I would just be like, "Shut the fuck up, please, ladies. I need you to not talk."
The funniest part is I pulled my bingo balls after they all left. So they all walked out, and I just go, all right, I-28. There's like 4 people left. There was like a Mexican couple at the back who loved it, but they were just like, can you pull the balls?
Yeah, they didn't give a fuck about the comedy, dude. But they were laughing.
There was a point to all that.
I feel like you were talking about how, like, why can't we just have fun?
Oh, yeah, no. I was saying the degradation of, like, society. Because those girls 10 years ago would just be like dying of laughter with that and like poking fun at their friend and be like, oh my God, that's so funny. And like none of them would have cared, and they probably wouldn't have they would have been smart enough to do something interesting, like go to Vegas or like, you know, if you do a bachelorette and it sucks, like that sucks.
I think I remember you shitting on them for like, yo,
you're like, who organized this?
You're a bad friend. You're a bad friend. You're gonna
like, what is this? $12 you spent a ticket? Trying to get free gift cards for the bachelorette. I'm
comedy
like, you guys
bingo?
should be. I was like, she should be fucking, you know, getting blackout and accidentally sucking some dude's dick, and then tomorrow saying I do.
Right.
You guys crammed into an Uber X to get here.
They were trying.
They
so bad.
For the XL.
Dude, they went to a bingo night in large numbers to farm prizes for $12 a ticket.
And they think they're just like hot shit. And it's like, you girls are like extreme couponers. You're not even. Yeah. You're not interesting.
That's crazy. You walked 14 Jewish women last night. That's crazy.
But pussy just has such a high value that like women,
no, it does not.
But it does.
Yeah,
in the sense that
in the meta, people,
you don't have to act like right.
Yeah, you can be a fucking bitch in public, and the guy is so like pussy is so valuable.
But what they don't realize is that they're fucking dudes that that correspond with that type of behavior.
Right? And then
some of them are good looking because you know why? Because those guys don't get hurt. They don't get hurt. They only want to fuck those chicks, and they don't want relationships. So but I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that.
They got soft hands.
But I'm saying that in 10 years, those girls are going to be like probably just, you know,
empty,
anti-Semitic. They're going to be lonely. No, they're going to be. They just don't see the value in the family type thing, and I think that's the one thing that America's. Well, but I think it's coming back.
I think it's coming back because these women are betas with a lot of money are what's at the top right now. It's not like a medium income alpha who knows how to rear like fucking, hey,
You know, I know how to help the wife with the kids. When I come home, they straighten up. You know what I mean? And you can use the threat of me.
It's also
coming
because
home.
people make less money and
Right.
things are more expensive. Because
Right.
before, when things were cheap, you know, you'd finished high school, you went to university, and then you graduated, you got a job, you were able to buy a house, and then you're like, oh, I could see myself having a family.
Right.
But it's almost, and it's not necessarily cheaper, but the way it is now is it's like you go to university, and then
Only the
your
weakest.
you get your job, but your job only really affords you like a studio apartment, and then but you can go out every night, and the girls don't care that you only have a studio apartment, and you can fuck every night, and you can spend money, and you can do so they end up spending their money on just like drinking and fucking instead of families, and then.
And what I've noticed, at least here in Austin, the people that are having families, when you go out and you see these people with their kids and shit, these aren't like rough and tough dudes. It's like the female version of the man. Like it's very like I just see two women. It's like a man and a woman, but I just see two lesbians raising a kid and they have a small dog with them. And like those are the people that are making the next generation of Americans. And that's what's like the family that like the toughness is going away. Because only the rich beta weaklings that make enough money to have a nuclear family are the ones that are having them.
But it's that's mostly downtown. In the suburbs. There's a lot of like dudes with trucks with fucking families here.
Yeah.
Mostly.
But I think it might be like California transplants that I'm seeing or something. But it just doesn't seem like.
Well, it's Austin. It's always been known for having lesbians and lesbian moms.
But I'm talking about hetero
this is
people.
like the Subaru capital of Texas.
Hetero people that just seem like a lesbian couple to me because I don't see a male figure in that thing.
Yeah.
I just see a guy who's like the female version or the male version of the mom.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know, man. I get worried.
But all I meant was that those girls were just kind of it was just like a bit of a and I saw as I went to the other shows, I saw various other groups of girls that looked just the same. And it's like we just have packs of young girls going around getting offended at everything.
No, you shattered their ego.
Yeah.
Those people have a lot of ego. Those women.
I told them that to their face. I was like, you guys have ego right now. And the one girl nodded. And I was like, see? And then everybody was like mad at her. Dude, their day today is just destroyed.
They're destroyed.
Can you believe what that guy said?
I can't believe it. Why would we have to go to a comedy show for my bachelorette?
Yeah, and then this fat Jew made fun of us. This fat Jewish fuck rubbed his palms and roasted us.
I had to listen to Kanye and Candace Owens all night to get the Jew out.
The ride home. Oh, just fucking.
Compared to my ride home, just have a
La, 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 la. I'm in a Mustang. I roasted women. La, la. Shift into third gear. La, 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 la. I like to picture your Mustang on 22-inch Star of David's.
Mustangs are apparently Ford was super anti-Semitic.
Ford was super anti-Semitic.
So they'll probably have maybe Ford will come out with one of the Weekly Jew again or whatever it was. It was like a newspaper he had
The Weekly
called
Jew.
like the Weekly.
What other products are anti-Semitic? Like if you had to get them all out of your life, like what would you have to give
I have
up?
them all in my life. Like I don't. I have no. I would never like boycott a product for any reason. Pretty much, I would still listen to
if it's
Kanye.
good, it's still good, bro.
No, I don't know. I just know that Ford was like legit. Like he was like, "Yo, they're bad."
Yeah.
He's probably right.
Check out this sweet ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's
Also-
just, that's
also-
why I like driving in it because it probably pisses him off.
He was like, all right, Jews are bad, but also, what if your carriage didn't smell like horse shit anymore?
The Jew-friendly car is the Cadillac. Apparently, that's like Jew. That's like the you drive a Cadillac because Ford was anti-Semitic. Drive a Cadillac or Lincoln.
Lincoln.
Oh no, Lincoln's
Lincoln is
Ford.
Ford.
But I don't think it always was.
No, it was.
Really?
So it was
Straight?
Lincoln. Was,
I think eventually
Lincoln was their luxury line. It came after, I think. No,
let's look it up.
almost
I
like
think
we have
that they were
Google.
different brands and then they came to. Was Lincoln always part of Ford, owned by Ford?
Bam, bam. Was it always owned by Ford?
Listen,
No.
I know my Jewish cause. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Henry Leland,
Yeah.
aircraft engines during World War One.
Yeah. Yeah.
It pivoted to luxury cars, competing with brands like Cadillac. Oh, it got bought out in 22.
Yeah. So Cadillac was its own brand as well, and it also got bought out by GM. So did Chevy. Yeah. So they originally they were their own thing, but so
That's nuts. Damn, you're thinking way, way back. I go back as far as like 60s. That's like as far as my like give a fuck about the
I
world.
actually am much more interested recently in that time frame right around like 100 years ago exact.
Right. So
'Cause, like,
1920.
it was way more similar to now than we think. Like,
1925.
we think like only like the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s were like more similar, but back then they were like they had, first of all they had the COVID, they had the Spanish flu thing, so they did that whole fucking thing that we did.
Nuts. So yeah, there's like these little whispers of anti-Semitism in the 20s, and then by the 40s, it's full blown. So you're saying in 15 years it'll be 2040?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cyber Hitler. A cybernetic Hitler rises to power. An anti-Semitic AI becomes sentient, and it starts farming bots online, and then they start making neo-Nazi robotic soldiers, and then it's Terminator 4.
Yeah, I think it's people are, when it comes to comedy and it comes to, so comedy isn't just comedy anymore, really. You kind of have to have some sort of, like, you have to have opinions, I think. Like it's not necessarily opinions, but they're something. They're, like, you have to podcast. Podcasting isn't just, like, I've never listened to a podcast the way I listen to, like, stand-up, and I'm just like, laugh. You know what I mean? It's a whole thing, because comics have always had the power to be like philosophers kind of and stuff, and I think that that's kind of what has, I mean, look at Rogan, right? Like I don't know if we would call him philosopher, but you'd call him something that's like bigger than a comedian or
Person of influence.
Sure. I guess, he's influential for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But he's historical too. Like all these guys are historical. Theo Von, their podcasts are historically big, and
I like it.
So I think it'll shift, but even like Rogan has a Gad Sad on a lot. He's a Canadian Jew from Montreal, but he's like but like he's one of those Jews where it's like, fuck.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
It means like, fuck, I guess we do. I guess they are a problem. You know what I mean?
What's a Gad said?
It's his name. His first name's Gad.
Who? What?
There's a Jew from Canada named Gad Sad.
Okay.
He's like a professor. And
Okay, is he like Canadian Rogan?
He's been on Joe Rogan a bunch.
Oh, okay. I don't know who that is. Holy shit!
But he's super
guy is-
influential and he's smart, very smart guy. I like him.
He looks like System of a Down, like 1,000-year-old System of a Down. Hello, Joe. Welcome to the Joe Rogan Experience. I don't know this motherfucker. This motherfucker look like fucking. Why do they always send the poor? Why do they always send the poor? And Joe's like, I mean,
He's
I don't
like
know why they
he's
send the poor.
Jewish. What's his name? Jordan Peterson, kind of. Yeah, but he's a smart guy. But
Jewish Jordan Peterson.
my point is that they'll have him on
Why
though,
is the
and
cost of eggs so
he's
bloody
like
expensive?
he's like classically Jew and like knowledgeable of that stuff,
Right.
And then, but then they'll have they'll have Ian Carroll on, who's like a young hip conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, I watched.
And it's
his
like,
stuff.
how can you know what I mean? It's like that. So it's like, okay, let's have Gad Sad give the Jew point of view, and it's just very like, listen, I'm an old Jewish man, and we've done nothing wrong, and 192 Nobel prizes. Okay, we're very smart people.
Scoreboard.
Right, and then
the numbers.
but then the other guy's just like a fucking 26-year-old who's like, bro, I know every single goddamn thing about Epstein, and it's just like, well, that guy wins obviously because. So I'm putting up my hand to say that I'd be interesting.
Well, thank you for showing me some of this stuff. I've just like been blissfully living in ignorance. I've just been chasing $20 spots around Austin with my head down. I'm just scurrying.
I'm here to
around.
help. I'm here to
I'm
help.
just scurrying around 6th Street. Like
looking at flyers that don't have my face on it and just punching myself in the head.
I know the way
I just go,
You look-
I'm not making $20. That's all I do all day long. We were in the bar last night. What do you think I was doing? I was in
you
there.
just looked up at me. You're like, "Can you do my podcast?"
Will you, Ben?
yeah.
Ben, will you help me?
I have a plug though. If anybody,
Go for
I
it.
should have done it
Go for it.
earlier. I don't know if you can cut this to the beginning. You don't have to, but I have a comedy special coming out May 15th
Nice.
on YouTube. benbankas.com/specials. It'll be there.
Fuck yeah.
Or you can just go to youtube.com/benbankascomedy. And it's going to be fun. It was filmed in Tampa, and which is a wild place. Side Splitters in Tampa is a fucking legendary American comedy club, and it's my first U.S. comedy special, so I'm pretty pumped to put it out there.
It looks good from what you were showing me.
Thank you.
That
So,
the colors, the angle. I like the angle. It's
March
kinda-
15th.
We'll
Just
put it in
wanted
the
to-
description.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate
We'll
that.
link your stuff in there. Yeah.
But yeah.
Any closing remarks, Mr. Bankas?
What are we at?
We're at 59 minutes. We can
Oh,
keep
cool.
going. We can keep going a
Good.
little bit. We just
Yeah.
have somebody coming in like 10. So
10?
yeah.
Okay. Well, closing remarks. Sorry.
Sorry.
I don't know what people want me to talk. Like people are like, I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying?
I wanted to ask you
Yeah,
what you
ask
think
me
of
something.
Trudeau crying since you're Canadian
Oh,
because
yeah.
he just like was just like bawling his eyes out on the news the other day.
Yeah, Taylor loves this episode. I'm learning stuff.
I've been locked into Twitter since Jan 1.
Oh, dude, I'm locked in. I've been locked in since fucking Jan 1, 2019.
It's making me a
Or
worse
2020.
person. It's not making me funnier. I have to stop.
You
looking
think?
At it.
No, I think it's making. I think it's important to be informed. I have this theory right now. I'll say the thing about the Trudeau thing, but I have this theory right now because you know how when we were kids, our parents are like, stop playing video games all the time. And they were completely wrong about that because if they had been like, fucking play this shit out of this every day, and by the time you're 20, this is going to be $1 billion business, and you're going to be able to fucking stream this. If they had just been like, he likes it, do it. More, so now the whole thing is like, get off your phone. What are you doing on your phone? I'm fucking reading about the world and becoming more informed while everybody else is retarded. Yeah, there's a couple funny videos of an Indian guy slipping on a banana peel or a Chinese person eating a turtle. But
The duality of the internet is Ben learning about things around the world and what's going on, and then it's me looking at midgets with huge boobs.
You're
it's
basically
like, oh, Lincoln, 1922.
you're basically saying like what Gary Vee says about like the people being like, I don't like Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You're like people said that about the internet and email and stuff.
So it's like, I think that it's not that bad if you're informed because it's something to talk about. Because before the internet before social media was so intense, people just watched the same shit on TV and talked about it. But now it's like, did you see this video? But everybody knows the same stuff. Like I was doing jokes last night about the Dallas-Fort Worth rapper shooting where his daughter died. Anyway, it's a pretty fucked up joke. Trust me, it's funny. It's a good joke. But when I go rapper in Dallas-Fort Worth, everybody knew, and it happened 2 days ago.
Whoa.
And it's just because it's boom, boom, boom. It's right there. So, but the Trudeau thing is embarrassing for Canadians like me. I mean, there's liberal Canadians watching that going, look how much he cared. He was just crying his eyes out but it's definitely not a good way to negotiate with Donald Trump is crying. I don't think that's going to
Look at him. Tears in his eyes.
That's a good
What
Trump.
a pussy. What a pussy. Thank you, man. I do it a lot. I'm doing it's my Shane Gillis impression. What a pussy. Look at his eyes, red as the devil's dick.
That's
choking.
from somewhere. That's from a different time.
Yeah, this is the one from.
What was,
I mean,
what was he crying about? What was he
he's
saying?
sad because he thought he would leave office in some grand fashion.
Get out, Justin. Adios. Leave. Nobody likes you.
People want to act like
You're gay.
the Canada thing. They're like, why are we treating Canada so badly? There's certain things I think they shouldn't be doing, like the tariffs. I think are like just yesterday he got rid of all the tariffs like 2 days after doing the tariffs because he realized that all the car manufacturing companies came to him and were like, hey,
You're
kind
gonna
of
destroy
fucking our
us.
shit up
You're gonna
because some of the parts are built like Canada will have one part, Mexico will have another part,
Yep.
and then the things assembled in fucking Detroit or whatever.
Yep, I know that because I used to do automotive parts, and during the pandemic, it was like Canada was more strict with certain shit, so it would. Oh yeah, those panels they get formed in Canada, and everyone in Canada is like, "Nah, we're going to work."
Right.
So yeah, during the pandemic and shit like that, we were very reliant on Canada and Mexico for shit.
And the problem, somebody was saying that like Trump is like America's Nero yesterday. I forget who was saying that. It could be possible, but he, all these global trade things that are that happen right now, America did them. Like America was the one who was like, hey, let's, you guys build this. Or the other countries came to America and were like, hey, what if we build this and you do? And then that was the status quo. And then Trump's like, oh, this is all wrong. And so it's like, you're now being penalized for what my own country did to like set up already. So that I think is an issue. But like generally, I think that his message is good. And I think that truly, he just doesn't want to do business with Trudeau. It's not about Canada. He just doesn't want to do business with. He wants to do business with Argentina because he likes the leadership, and he wants the leaders of the same. Like if we're all on the same team, the different leaders shouldn't just be like, well, I disagree with everything that guy's doing. It's like, look at Germany. They could really use, like, they could really use like a bit of more migrant, like they have so many illegal migrants there. It's like insane. Like I think it's like over 1 million or something. And it's not as big as America, right? Like I don't even think Germany's as big as fucking Texas. You could probably fit inside it. So like there, it's an issue. Like they have, I forget what are the statistics we could put, and then we'll get out of here. Statistics of how many terrorist attacks happen monthly in Germany. It's like, it's insane.
I've seen memes about that. I've seen memes about the victims of terror attacks getting arrested, and then the terrorist fucked up the cop. The terrorist stabbed a cop in the back because he was arresting the victim.
January, knife attack. February,
Yep.
car ramming.
Yeah, that's the knife attack at Auschwitz. Yep, there were memes about that shit, dude.
39 people in a car attack.
Afghan migrant.
2 months.
Oof. Car
Yeah.
ramming, injured 39, two later
It's
dying.
just kind of.
It does get pretty crappy. It does get pretty bad because you have all these people that come from literal.
But it's the Jews' fault. That's what's.
It's nuts. It's
That's what's on. But you know what I'm talking about? Because they literally they go, well, why are there so many Muslims here? Because the Jews want the Muslims. They're the NGOs are bringing the Muslims to Europe so that people hate them, and then they allowed. It's like, dude, no, that's fucking retarded. Like they murdered all the Jews and they left, and if they were still there, then they wouldn't have brought so many other immigrants. And I don't think there's anything wrong with Muslims who want to move to any country and want to be part of that country. But I think any like person, like imagine I moved to America and I was like, this is all wrong. I don't like any of this.
Like that lady in Haiti or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no. The you're talking about the woman in Pakistan.
Or Pakistan.
Yeah, the
my
lady in
bad, my bad,
Pakistan. Yeah.
She's a hero. Yeah. She's a real American hero. I like it better when Americans go to other countries and go, this place is a shithole. That I get. But like if you're coming from Pakistan, go to America, you're like, I do not like these people. I want to fucking shit on their street. I want to fucking it's like
Why are the ankles
book
showing?
a flight back. Book a flight back and print a couple resumes out and hand them out in fucking Baghdad then. Or wherever the fuck you want to, the place you rather be. Were you handing out resumes every day? No. But then you come to America, you're not handing out resumes either. You're just waiting with your hand out for money, and that's wrong, I think. And the Jews never did that.
BenBankas.com. New special coming out May 15th. We love him over here at R3. I hope you
cool
guys
studio.
Hope you guys are
Thanks,
having
dude.
fun. Thank you, man. We worked really hard.
Come by anytime.
Come
Thank
by
you.
anytime, dude.
Thank you. Nice
We
meeting
love you, bro.
Sorry for being late.
No, you're
No,
fine,
you were
bro.
good, man.
Here,
Appreciate
dap
it.
me up.
We'll have to run it back.
We'll run it back.
Yeah, we'll
again.
do it. Let's do it again soon.
Oh yeah, dude.
All right.
Like and subscribe, you guys. Radio Ridley Radio on Patreon. We're gonna do an episode for that later.
Yeah, we'll
that
do
won't
one.
include Ben, unfortunately, but
Yeah.
he'll be on the next one.
Yeah,
You
we'll
can
put
listen
the
to-
audio
you
of
can-
Ben tearing these
Yeah,
women.
and we will put that audio in there. That'll be great if you send us that.
I'll come do it if you want.
Oh,
Okay.
cool. Yeah, we'll schedule it.
All right, we'll schedule you come by on Patreon and then we'll do funny racist stuff over there or something. All right,
Peace.
bye bye.
You're listening to the R3 podcast.